Hey guys, welcome to the video. So behind me sits my ball python's bioactive terrarium, and this was my very first video on the channel and it got a lot of support, but you guys were also wanting to see an update on it, see how it's doing. So this is about the 6-month mark. I believe I did this build around January or February. I didn't post it to the channel, I don't believe, until April though. But anyway, so it's been about a good 6 months. In that time, a lot of things have changed. I have since moved locations as far as myself, and then I have also moved things in the terrarium around. So I want to give you an update on each individual kind of category, just so you can kind of see where we're at with everything. I'll start with the plants. So unfortunately, one of the challenges with going bioactive is trying to keep plants alive, especially when you have no experience with it. It can just be super annoying. So I am trying to get better about it. I mean, having 1 out of 3 of my plants survive is not good odds, but I mean, the good thing about it also is that plants can be easily replaced. So if you can see, and I will be doing close-ups, but if you can see behind me, you only see this little bit of greenery kind of towards the middle, and that is the pothos plant, however you pronounce it. And that was the guy that I told you in my original video that does very well in my terrariums and that I knew was going to survive. So as far as the creeping fig, that plant died immediately on me. It honestly didn't even survive a couple of weeks, and it may be due to the fact that I had it in those pots that are hanging on the background, and to be honest, any plant that I put in those pots have not survived. So I don't know if I just don't have good drainage on those pots or what it is, but the creeping fig did not last. And then I had that second plant. It was kind of, I called it a grass-like plant in my first video, and it actually kind of did well. It only died just a few weeks ago, and the reason why it died is because I was switching things around in the terrarium and I accidentally put it too close to my heating pad, and so it pretty much burned it up. So yeah. So all we got left is that one pothos plant. It has been growing. The reason why I'm not adding any more plants to her enclosure or really making any upgrades with her enclosure at this point is because I did just build a 4-foot enclosure. Me and my granddaddy built a 4-foot enclosure for her. Space also going to be my Dumer's boa. She's also going to be getting a 4-foot enclosure. So I pretty much just put everything as far as upgrading this on halt. I mean, there's no real point to it. She did get some change in her hides as well. So her water dish, I told you in my original video that I wanted to get her a bigger water dish, and I did. And I also got her a matching hide. And I actually bought those 2 at a expo. I did vlog that expo. It was Repticon Tampa, so I do have a video on that if you're interested in watching. But I actually bought those 2 things because I have plans for them to go in her bigger enclosure. So I just threw them in here just for her to try them out and see if I really like the aesthetic of them. In order to save space, I did put the water bowl on top of the hide. That is a good space saver. I've done it in a lot of enclosures actually before. So that's what we did over there. And then she still has her half log. I did not take that out, but I did take out the huge green hide that she had, and then the gray rock-like hide that she had as well. She was never really using that gray one, so I took it out and gave it to my boa. And she pretty much actually doesn't really use hides as much. She'll actually go behind her foam background before she'll use a hide. So, and this is laughing at me. Alright, so her woodscaping element, her climbing branch is still there. She still does use that guy. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is actually the cleanup crew, because my cleanup crew is definitely thriving in this enclosure, and I'm actually very happy. I do feel like I could use an increase in the population, so when I do, you know, transplant her into that bigger enclosure, I will be adding some more isopods and springtails, but they are still alive, and they do seem to be producing, just because I do see some baby giant orange isopods in there as well, insinuating that they are reproducing in some way. The last thing that I wanted to touch on was the lack of a false bottom. So I told you in my first video that I wasn't going to do a false bottom. I just wanted to see how it went. In my Dumer's boa's enclosure, I actually did half a false bottom on one side and then no false bottom on the other side, just to kind of see, and it went great for me in there. So with her enclosure, I just decided, you know what, no false bottom. And the verdict on that is that I feel like if you don't have a super humid or moist environment, a false bottom is absolutely not required. However, if you want to add a false bottom just to be super secure, just to make sure that you don't have to go back in after the fact and put a false bottom on, then definitely. Of course, you could use egg crate or you could use some clay balls. The reason why I forego, that makes no sense. The reason why I didn't put a false bottom in her enclosure is because, one, I just wanted to see if it would work, but two, when you're going bioactive, it already can be kind of expensive, and so just one less element in my mind was one less expense, especially if you're buying clay balls enough to fill an enclosure of this size. But also the clay balls will make an enclosure really heavy. If you're going egg crate, it is more lightweight, but even so, I mean, you got to do all the mesh around it and the what do they call them ties things? The zip ties and stuff. It was just a lot. So, and I have tried both methods, clay balls and the egg crate. But I'm actually very happy with the fact that I don't have a false bottom in here. It makes it very easy for me to deep clean the enclosure and turn over the substrate like I like to do and things like that. So I'm not mad at all about not putting a false bottom. I think that's basically it for all of the updates. This is a very quick video. Again, she will be getting that upgrade. I'm super excited about it. And if you want to see all the things I'm going to do with that enclosure, definitely subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be the first to know about my new videos coming out very soon. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comment box below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. So while I'm giving you guys this pan, I just wanted to quickly jump on here and say that I know this enclosure does not look as good as it did when I first did it. I mean, that's a part of the up and downs of just experimenting and figuring out what works and things like that. I mean, I'm not at all disappointed. I mean, my cleanup crew is still thriving, and although my pothos plant does not at all look as good as I would like it to be, or as good as it was when I bought it, it's still alive. And I mean, it's just a learning curve, if anything. And so I didn't want to get on here and fake the funk and act like my enclosure was still looking amazing, because it's not. But I think it still works for my ball python, and that's all that matters to me. And like I said, she will be getting an upgrade soon, and now I know, what things to watch out for. So if you're thinking about going bioactive, I still definitely recommend it. Although, my plants in here didn't do as well. My plants in my Doom Rose boa cage is definitely growing and thriving. So sometimes it's a hit or miss. Why don't we just go ahead and sound off below if you have any tips or tricks for having a successful bioactive build. And also we can just discuss problems that may arise for people that are thinking about going bioactive. So I wish you guys the best, and I will see you guys next time. I see you peeking at me, okay? She's like giving me the eye over here. Like, I must have woke up from her nap and she's just not happy about it. I know you're giving me the eye. Whatever.